welcome to another book versus movie video in this week of book to movie adaptation themed videos. Of course, I've been promising this one for so long. I'm going to be talking about The Kissing Booth by Beth Reekles. I reread this one last month in preparation for watching the movie, and then I kind of gave myself a little bit of cooling off time, and then I watched the movie, which is on Netflix, and it seems to be on Netflix everywhere, so wherever you are watching this, you should be able to watch this movie. I first read this book back in 2013, did I say 2013 or 2012, whenever it came out, because I got a copy at a blogger brunch that I went to. They were very excited about this teenage author. Yes, this author wrote this book whilst doing her A-levels, which is amazing. This was a Wattpad sensation, and it got picked up to become a movie. It took a while to make, but it's here now, and I have just finished watching it. So, first of all, it's one of those where the characters in the film did look really like the characters in my head, apart from the fact that both of the kind of lead boys, Noah and Lee, or Flynn and Lee, are possibly sort of hotter in the film, which sounds bad because they are quite young, but yeah, they're hotter in the film than they actually were in my head. I think I gave them a more sort of realistic body and face in my head, even though they are described as being super hot in the book. So yeah, in terms of characters and what the characters look like and how the characters behave, I thought the actors did a really good job of sticking to the adaptation of the book, because I think it's really similar to what I had in my head. I know lots of people, when they come to a book to a movie, they are unhappy because the characters just don't look like they did in their head, because we all have a different main character in our heads. They all look different because we are creating these characters. And yes, Renee Zellweger as Bridget Jones looked nothing like my Bridget Jones in my head. However, in this case, I feel like these characters did look like I expected them to in my head, even though they look different to the characters on this cover. I also thought, so I've read some of the reviews of the movie itself, and people are saying, oh, it's super cheesy, it's completely unrealistic, but it's a teen romance, and the book itself is super cheesy, and that's what I liked about it. This is why this was a great read for me the first time and the second time I read it. And the film is even more cheesy because we can't create extra cheese in our head. It all has to be on the screen. So I like the fact that the book is just as cheesy as the film. One of the main differences I felt that the film seemed to be more grown-up adult than the book, in the sense that we get to hear them swear quite a lot. We also have them talking about sex, I think, a little more than they did in the book. Also in the book, we sort of hear about Elle getting drunk and stripping off, but she seems to strip off quite a lot, and I think she does do this quite a lot in the film, so there's quite a lot of, you know, flesh on display. So I think, yeah, the film to me is just a little bit more adult in content than the book. I felt like the book, even though it does talk about sex, was slightly less risque, and I believe she doesn't swear in the book. Having read it only a couple of weeks ago, I should know this, but yeah, I feel like she doesn't swear as much in the book, even if she does swear a little bit. Also, we see her buying condoms in the film as well, which is definitely more risque than I thought she was in the book. I really like the music in the film. There's a lot of recognisable songs, and I thought that it went with the tone of both the book and the film, so I thought they did a really good job of that. I think, I'm going to put this down now, I think that the setting in the film was easier to picture than the setting in the book. One of the things that I struggled with a little bit was the setting of the book. I even tweeted the author and said, was this book always set in America? And kind of like, I couldn't quite picture. It was set in California somewhere, whereas the film itself is very definitely set in, you know, the area around Venice and Santa Monica, and obviously because I can see it on screen, it's definitely much easier to picture, but yeah, I struggled with the setting in the book a little bit, but it was very, very clear on the screen. Also, we have cell phones, more specifically iPhones, on screen throughout the film, whereas I don't feel that they were mentioned very much in the book, but that's quite common for authors not to mention a lot of technology in their novels because it dates them. I personally like to read about technology in novels because I think it's part of real life. But yeah, we have lots of sort of cell phone use in the film that we don't have in the book, which I think just sort of adds something to their personality. I loved seeing Lee and Elle's friendship played out on screen. It was really great to see, because I love the fact that in obviously both the book and the film, we have people who are just friends. A male and a female who are just friends, even though they both like members of their, you know, she likes guys, he likes girls, and yet they don't get together. I love that. That's fantastic. And I like seeing that out on the screen. It's sort of, yeah, kind of addressing those reviews that are like, oh, this is so cheesy, this is unrealistic. It's a teen romance. You have to leave your cynicism at the door and just sit down and enjoy. It's the same as reading the book. You know, you need to just have a belief that, you know, the girl can get the guy, and, you know, the bad guy will become the good guy, or, you know, she will have her first kiss. You have to just hang up your cynicism at the door and just enjoy it for what it is. I thought they did a really good job. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it stayed very, very true to the book. It's probably one of the only films I've seen recently that stays so close to the book compared to others that I have seen where, you know, we've got a sister missing or a parent missing, or it's set in another country. Yeah, I thought it did a really good job. I recommend both the book and the film. Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous of people that watch the film first and don't know what's going to happen, because obviously I've read the book twice, so I definitely knew what was going to happen. But yeah, it was nice watching it play out on screen and in a setting that I could recognise as well, which was lovely. So I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in comments below your thoughts on this, because I know a lot of people have been watching this movie. It's right up there on trending whenever I put Netflix on. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to get to you. I just have to finish reading the book first. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed, and make sure you are subscribed for the rest of my book to movie themed week, because I have more coming up, and keep leaving those suggestions below as well for other books and movies that I should be comparing on this channel. I'm getting on with a few that I've had suggestions on Facebook already, so that's exciting. Yeah, and I will see you tomorrow with another video.